Sujit,
Hey, Jazz.
let's go over the community's questions.
Yeah, sure.
So we have Tosek. He has asked, how will you or how does the contract decide if a case is insurable or not? Because in normal reinsurance, every case is different and must be looked at and worked through individually. Could you briefly explain how you will manage to solve that problem? Hey Tosek, thanks for asking that question. We follow a very rigorous process of underwriting and business development. Basically, what we do is we reach out to the protocols. We try to understand what the needs of the insurance are for their users and the protocol itself. We make a benefit structure that is tailor made to the protocol. After this, the protocol is then onboarded to the cohort. While this onboarding process is going on, we try to understand what are the risks associated with offering this particular cover. So we will go into factors such as maturity of the product, what is the team's experience, how is the smart contract written, and being a tester, and I'm sure Sujit knows you as well. We know that you've seen the testnet, and you must have seen all those factors show up in the radar chart. And so that's basically it. Moving on to the next question. I think this one's for you, Sujit.
All right. Thanks, Jazz, for answering that. Um, so the next question is from alt Token King. How many more cohorts will Honori have? That's a very great question. So our plan is to run cohorts perpetually till we are able to insure or provide insurance products to the entire DeFi space that is out there. We have a very strong business development team who are constantly on the reach out for protocols who might benefit from customized insurance products. And I would also like to highlight the fact that we already have a strong lineup of insurance protocols already lined up for our cohort 2.
Great.
So I can see another question. This one is from @T-Real Sailor. What are the measures taken to secure investor funds in risk pools? I mean, have you checked the code of client apps, their audits, etc., so that investors can put their funds without worrying to lose them? The client's platform is well secured and not vulnerable to any attack. Very interesting question @T-Real Sailor. So yes, we have been working for the last couple of months with some of the biggest names in the smart contract audit industry, namely Hacken as well as Zokyo. We have been working with them to bootstrap security on our smart contracts. They have helped us with a lot of suggestions on how we can improve like gas or do gas optimization as well as do security improvements on our smart contracts. We also have a very modular structure on our smart contracts, which has been purposefully set up so that at any point of time, not all the funds are always locked up in a single smart contract. So it's coherently decentralized in itself.
That's good. I'll take the next question then. So it's from Kryzux. I'm so sorry if I pronounced it wrong. As Uno launches its D app, does it plan to launch on other exchanges and add more currency pairs in the later days? Well, that's a very good question, and I'm sure we have a lot of those in the community. Yes, we are going to be launching on multiple exchanges, decentralized and centralized exchanges, as it fits our goal of having the UNO token more accessible so people can use it and participate in investing into risk, participating in building more proposals for insurance, etc. And what would also help is also to have multiple pairs listed on different exchanges as well. On another hand, as more and more protocols migrate to layer 2 solutions and blockchains, what is happening is there's a migration of assets as well. In order to ensure these assets, we will also be moving to these blockchains, launching our token so that investors and stakers and innovators on our platform can come in, build products, stake products, and provide cover to the DeFi community.
Okay, so now we have a question from @decrypt20. Will there be any new staking pools opening soon? So good question again, Mr. Decrypt. We do have some very exciting announcement. One of them, especially with one of our former staking pool partners, where we had a pretty successful launch of a staking pool program, where we had to actually the guys from our partner company actually had to take down the service because they were receiving so much interest. So we're planning to do the activity again. Unfortunately, I can't disclose their names at the moment. Additional to that, we're also, from a cohort perspective, we're also going to be launching new cohort staking pools where you will be able to invest your stablecoin assets and also your Uno tokens to provide insurance capacity to cohort 2 partners, which means all the token holders of dollar Uno are now going to get a chance to get rewarded in USDC stablecoin rewards.
Sounds very cool. Great then. So let me take the next question. So it's from Navarani100 underscore V2. Justin Sujit, can you explain to our community what lies under the hood of the D app? The statistical analysis, pricing of insurance, calculations on expected losses, returns, smart contract triggering on events. There is a lot more on this D app than the staking functionality. Well, that's absolutely right. There's a lot more going on under the hood of the D app other than the staking functionality. Staking just makes the process of raising capital easier. What we've essentially accomplished through Uno's D app is once we onboard these protocols who need insurance onto our cohort, they go through a very rigorous actuarial process where we decide how we can place these risks across different risk pools so that people who stake in these risk pools are rewarded according to the risk that they're taking. As you can probably see on the platform, people who are more risk averse, they can take Athena or Artemis, while people who want to take risk, they can take Zeus, and they're awarded equally according to the risk that they've taken. Also on the D app, you can have a look at what is the expected claims that we're seeing. You can also see what is the APR that you'll be receiving the entire year. You can see bullish, bearish, and average case scenarios, something that no other insurance protocol or reinsurance protocol has been able to do till now. So that's basically it. So the next one's for you, I think so.
Yeah, so I have selected our last question for the day. This one is from ReeveSwap @ReeveSwap. It's good to see a project being so careful and running this program to ensure the security of users. Any update on the program? How's it going? So our bug bounty program has been quite successful so far. We have received an overwhelming number of entries from our users. Just to give you some quick facts, let me just see if I can open up my Jira board. So in total, we have received around 85 reports from our users, and out of them, around 33 have been accepted as credible bugs, which would be susceptible for bounty rewards, which is also going to be due for like distribution within the next couple of days. Nothing critical or high, nothing in the sector of critical or high so far, but we had a couple of bugs which were rated moderate to low. And yeah, that's just to give you some quick metrics. We are obviously really thankful to all our community members. We really believe in getting fixing all the nitty gritties and getting our app picture perfect before our mainnet launch. And to everyone who has helped us achieve that or helped us provide support in that form, we're really thankful to you guys.
Yes, we are. Let's end it on that note, that we're very, very thankful to everyone who's been a part of this journey and will continue to be so. And we'll make sure that everyone's pleasantly surprised. Take care, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.